there is a light beam across the camera. Can you see that? So move that. Come. What's causing that? I can't see what's causing it. Anyway, we'll go with it, and eventually the sun will come around. I assume, well, there's clouds. There's a few clouds about, so it'll go in front. I have nothing to talk about today. I haven't prepared anything. I do have some, let's see if I can find some notes. I don't think I put that video out, because one of my notes here is, it says, what is dating, question mark. What is dating? We could go over that again, because I've been editing some of the videos, some of the footage I've been collecting over the last few weeks. And I can't remember, because I have talked about it before, but I don't think I put it in a video that's gone out. And it's a note here, and I can talk about it again. So I can talk about it now. You can see across the channel, you can see where there's rain and where there isn't rain across the channel. It looks awesome. Don't know if I can get a picture. I'm getting distracted now. I've just said I'm going to talk about what is dating. That's one of my notes. There you go. You can see where there's rain across the channel. Can you see? If I get a video rather than... there you go. You can see where there's rain across the channel. Rain there, and there's like sun there. Is it focusing far enough? What is dating? Yeah, because I had a theory, because I've got the Pachinko, attraction Pachinko theory, which I need to expand on a bit more. So attraction Pachinko and the Physical-Limerence are two separate things. I did try doing a video, which I never finished, trying to map them into one concept, but I think they're two separate concepts. So attraction Pachinko is when... you can imagine a ball going down a Pachinko machine, and every pin that it hits, the ball hits, is an interaction. It's an interaction with someone. It's an event, but the events can be passive, and the events can send the ball one way or another way. That is towards your beliefs and ideals, or away from your beliefs and ideals. And if someone, this ball, gets reflected enough towards your beliefs and ideals, then you become attracted to them, and then you become limerent with them if they can go far enough. This is how the theory works. So I had thought the other day, because I'm not really understood dating, and I still have no idea what flirting is. I have absolutely no idea. I've tried to work it out. I just don't understand what it is or what the concept is. But dating. I need to tell you more about these interactions. Remember, the interactions with the pins in the attraction of Pachinko theory is they're any interaction. They can be passive interactions, as in it's just you you seeing the person who you're thinking about. Just seeing them, or hearing their voice, or reading something they've written, seeing a picture they've taken. These are all tiny interactions, obviously. These are very small, passive interactions. Or you can have active ones, which is actually talking to someone or writing to someone and having a message back. And each one of these actions can send the person towards or away from your beliefs and ideals. Now, the point of dating that I came up with the other week is because I never really understood. Maybe it's because no one ever wanted to spend time with me. I never really got into that sort of situation. I never had the money to take anyone out anywhere. When I did have money coming in, I was always saving up for something. So the point of dating is to maximize these interactions. So it makes me wonder whether the theory can be tweaked and say some interactions are bigger than others, but I think it's just a larger collection of small interactions, of same size interactions. Maybe that's a better way of putting it, because that way you don't have to... It's just to maximize these interactions, to get to know someone better. So that's the entire point of dating. So then... There's alternatives to dating then, isn't it? You can just spend just spend time with someone. Take them for lunch, take them for coffee. It doesn't have to be out in the evening. Yeah, that's true. I mean, dating doesn't have to be. You automatically think, due to films, television, books, whatever, that it's taking someone out in an evening. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I wouldn't be comfortable. I would rather take someone out for a coffee. So the entire point of dating is to maximize these interactions, to get to know someone, to get to know whether they align with your beliefs and ideals. Yeah. When you're not sure about someone, whether they align with your beliefs and ideals, that's the point. It's just maximizing interactions. But then that's another point of these videos, though, isn't it? Is it can give other people passive interactions with me. It gets me out towards other people. It increases the chance of people being attracted to me. Obviously, it's unlikely, but just putting these videos out publicly is, I suppose, is this what people mean when they give patronising advice? Just put yourself out there, patronising advice, really. Just put yourself out there. But every time I go out, I just get bad experiences. So that's what these videos are. That's what these videos are for. That's one of the reasons this video is for, giving other people more interactions with me. Because if it seems like in real life people don't want to have more interactions with me, but having a video like this public, it has potential to reach more people. Sorry, I'm just scratching the dry skin on my hands again. I've got a coffee here. Maybe we should change subject. Maybe I can change subject because I'm uncomfortable. Some of the thoughts I'm thinking of, I got a coffee. Some of the thoughts I'm thinking about is uncomfortable. Hang on, this is a shake, is it? Shake well before opening. I haven't opened it yet. Yeah, it sprays a little bit out when you pop the top. I haven't pulled it open it yet. I'm worried it's gone on me. I've washed this top once this morning. Yeah, I went to get gas this morning and I had to pull the hose across and I got some marks on me. I'll tell you why I had to pull the hose across is some of the pumps weren't working, only the centre pumps. So I went to the first pump, but there was another pump directly across of me in front of another vehicle, and the car behind. And I noticed there was a car behind, so I went to ask him, "Do you want me to go pull across?" He said, "Yeah, his filler is on one side, but I got the filler on the same side." So I thought, I'm just going to mess around. He's got a bigger car anyway, and so I pulled across to the other pump. I had to pull the hose out and then pull it across the back of the car, to fill it on from the other side. There's the other guy, and then the other guy was using his phone while he was filling his car up, and he ended up being told off by the garage anyway. So, and then when I got back in the car, I noticed black marks on me, so it must have come from the hose. I haven't taken a Be Real. I get the Be Real notifications, but I just tend to push them away. I don't really want to take a Be Real when there's people out there walking a dog. I'll do it another time. I can't be bothered. Actually, let me find out, what does Gemini know about my attraction pachinko theory? Let's find out, because I've talked about, trying to... Gemini, what do you recall about my attraction pachinko theory? Thinking. I've only got it on set to fast. From our previous discussions, I recall your attraction pachinko theory as a metaphor for the complex and unpredictable nature of human connection. You've described it as a mental model where various inputs such as physical appearance, shared memories, personality traits, and sensory details act as steel balls dropped into the machine of the mind. The pins, the filter, the pins on the machine represent a person's internal landscape, their history, biases, and current emotional state and subconscious preferences. These pins deflect the balls, the inputs, in a chaotic, non-linear ways. The complexity of connection, unlike a simple A plus B equals C formula, the balls bounce around unpredictably. You've noticed You noted that even with the same inputs, the outcome can change based on the tilt of the machine. No, I think it's got it wrong. I think it doesn't understand. It doesn't understand. The target traction, the goal to win is enough balls to land in the specific pockets to try and get to feel it attractive. No, I don't think it understands. I don't think it understands. It's overcomplicating the theory. It doesn't understand. ChatGPT will know. ChatGPT will know. Let's go to ChatGPT. Right. Yeah, I interact with Gemini through the web browser, and with ChatGPT I've got the app. Paste that, get rid of Gemini's name so it doesn't think I'm interacting with Gemini. ChatGPT, what do you recall about my attraction Pachinko theory? I don't actually have any stored record of your attraction Pachinko theory. I have talked with it extensively. That doesn't mean you didn't explain it before, it's just that it wasn't saved in a way I can recall right now. From the name though, I can take a reasonable guess at the idea where you were working with, and you can tell me how close it is. This is probably what Gemini did. It sounds like you were describing attraction as something a bit like a Pachinko machine. Lots of random pins, circumstances, timing, personality traits, appearance, mood. The ball, your feelings drop through unpredictably. Small interactions or detail can deflect things through different directions. See, it's getting closer. Where it lands, strong attraction, limerence, nothing, etc. isn't fully controllable. Tiny things, a smile, a voice, something pink, a look can. Tiny things in brackets, a smile, a voice, something pink. It's come from things we've talked about. A look can massively change the outcome. Yeah, probably. Yeah. And once it lands in a jackpot slot, limerence, it becomes very intense and hard to reverse. That kind of model would actually fit quite well with how you've described your experiences, especially how small triggers can suddenly make someone very important to you emotionally. But I don't want to overwrite your idea with my guess. Could you tell me how you originally described it, even just a rough version? I'll help you refine it to something clear and powerful, maybe even something you could use in the video or your writing. Now, ChatGPT has got that closer, because I have talked to it about my attraction Pachinko theory before now, and it's given me a much closer definition to what I think of. Well, what my attraction Pachinko theory is. But I don't have the skills to write this formally. It's getting cold in here. And the sun's gone. So I'm going to just start the engine up. Make sure my coffee doesn't spill. Yeah, I don't have the skills to formally write this, or a way that I feel other people could understand. I don't have these level of skills, because I'm explaining attraction Pachinko and don't think people are understanding it, because I'm not getting the feedback. Should that be facing the other way? Don't turn it off now. You can still see the light over there. So, because one of the videos I was looking at when editing the other day, I was speaking and there was the microphone. It was trying to record off the microphone, but this wasn't on. So the light is still on. Yeah. I don't have the skills to write my thoughts and feelings about attraction Pachinko and Loverence and Limerence in a way that I think other people can understand. What else can I say? And the other thing is the limerence and physical. Do people understand what I think the limerence physical, we need a proper word for this, Loverence chart. Now, when you're attracted to someone, I believe that you can put them as a point on this chart. And this pointed chart shows attraction intensity from bottom to top. So you've got very low intensity of attraction at the bottom, high intensity of attraction at the top, and you have a physical attraction on one side and you have a limerence attraction on the other. I've been calling it a limerence attraction, but other people, when I've described limerence, other people think a limerence is just a high level of attraction, and that bothers me. I think there needs to be a distinction between a physical and another sort of attraction. So I've given it the word Loverence because I couldn't find a word that is a non-physical intense attraction. But I don't think people understand about non-physical. I think that's a concept that the majority of the population cannot understand. I think a majority of the population, we don't talk in absolutes, we talk in, because it's a spectrum of different people with different concepts and different ideas. I think a majority of the population cannot understand that you can be attracted to someone incredibly intensely and it's not a desire to have physical experiences with them. And yet you can still, and the attraction is still incredibly intense. This is why I came up with the Loverence word. Unless anyone thinks maybe there is some professional word for that, but I don't recall it, or I've never heard it. Alright, so we faff around. Where's my glasses? There's one thing about a small car. One good thing about a small car, I could just reach into the back and get everything, because I just throw it on the seat. Whereas when I had the bigger car, it was more work, though I could stick more stuff in. Gemini, do you recall anything about my Physical-Limerence chart? I came up with the term Loverence to describe the intense non-physical attraction. Is there any word that professionals would describe this as? Is there any research related to this you can recall? I've got it on thinking rather than fast, and I'll do that. Send that off the way, and then I need an antihistamine. And I have spreadsheets about pills I take. So I got the antihistamines. This is loratadine. Loratadine is less sleepy than sertazine, though I think is less effective. It's better than fexofenadine. The fexofenadine you've got to have when you've not eaten, and the loratadine you have when you've eaten. Right, 1458. Let's put that in my health chart. See, my Limerence actually likes medical stuff, so I wonder if she'd be interested in having access to my medical health charts. Well, 1458, isn't it? And it's on the 12th. And I got to make sure I got the pills sheet open. Yeah, I got. So that's the 12th of 1458. 1458, and that's loratadine. So I last took it yesterday at 9:23 in the morning. It's a good chart. It's a good chart. I record a bunch of health statistics and things, and so we can recall them. If doctors or medical health professionals, I would rather my Limerence actually have access to them. If she wants to go, she's in the medical field, then she can have access to them if that would help her help her research. That would be interesting. Okay, Gemini, what did you say? What was your reply? I know I'm still looking scruffy because I woke up incredibly down this morning. I still had a flat feeling, though I'm feeling a little bit better now. I think the sun helps, and coming out, having a coffee, relaxing a bit, and going for a walk down here before making the videos. That's what helps. I'll sit up straight so I can read this. The chart you've shared represents an interesting visualization of the spectrum between physical desire and the psychological state of limerence. By placing these on axis of attraction intensity, you're mapping how connection can be deeply felt through different frequencies, one rooted in the body, the other in the mind and spirit. While Loverence is a unique term you've developed, there are several established psychological concepts and research areas that align with the idea of intense non-physical attraction. Professional terminology. If you're looking at how professionals or researchers might categorize Loverence, these terms are most relevant. Alterous attraction. This is a term used in the physical study of the psychological study of attraction, particularly within the split attraction model. Yeah, because this is a split attraction model. This is the split attraction model is what I feel. It's me. particularly within the split attraction model, to describe a desire for an emotional closeness that is neither purely platonic nor strictly romantic. See, this is, or nor strictly romantic, that word which might get me banned on YouTube or get me problems on YouTube, so I'm not going to say some of these words. Because another thing in the split attraction theory, they're saying you can have physical and romantic on one side, and I think that fits well, but a lot of people misinterpret the word romantic. And so this is why I don't use it. And I've talked about this in the videos before. But then I know but people aren't, it's unlikely to have watched the other videos, so I shouldn't really keep talking about past videos. But yeah, but a lot of the split attraction theory writing is that they've split a physical attraction and a romantic attraction into two separate things, which I think is a very good... Yeah, a lot of the writing on split attraction is physical attraction and romantic attraction is on two separate sides. So I think that's the right thing to do. That's the right word, romantic. But a lot of normal people misinterpret romantic attraction. This is why I'm not 100% comfortable with using it as a split romantic and physical. Yeah, so what altruist attraction? This is a term used to psychological study of attraction, particularly within the split attraction model, to describe a desire for emotional closeness that is neither purely platonic nor strictly romantic / that word. It is other in quotes, kind of intensity that feels deep and significant but doesn't fit the standard physical molds. Right, the second term it uses, affections, the affectionate system. Neuroscientists like Helen Fisher, who never heard of, distinguish between the uncomfortable word system and the attachment system. What you describe as Loverence likely sits heavily in the attachment system, where the bond is driven by security and deep emotional resonance rather than physical drive. It does sort of trivialise it, doesn't it? I mean, I suppose it's accurate, but it does trivialise it. Platonic limerence. What is platonic anyway? What is platonic? It sounds like platter, flat. And it sort of trivialises feelings as well. But I'm still not 100% sure what platonic means. Platonic limerence, while Dorothy Tenoff, she's the one who came up with the limerence term, and I don't like limerence being spelt with the lowercase l. I'd much rather it being spelt with a capital. I always capitalise it. Who coined limerence, focused on romantic interest, and modern adaptations of work recognise platonic limerence. This involves the same intrusive thoughts and longing for reciprocation without that word component. Squish. In sociological studies of interpersonal relationships, a squish is the non-physical equivalent of a crush, an intense desire for a deep soul-level connection with someone. Well, can we use a different term other than squish? Squish just sounds wrong. How about cutch? Cutch is a good word. Cutch gives us cutch. Yeah, it's a Welsh word for a loving hug. Because you got crush someone or in a hug, or you can cutch. Anyone can hug, but only the Welsh can cutch. Yeah, I need to describe more about this non-physical attraction. I'm saying non-physical attraction, but I don't think I'm portraying that. It's not as if you couldn't have physical relationships with your limerence or the loverence, but it's not the primary drive. And the idea is it has to be your limerence's choice, not your own choice. It's not, because I wouldn't want to change her in any way. I don't want to change her in any way. It's not a component of the attraction. That's what I mean. It's not a component of the attraction. The study of attraction has moved towards a more modular understanding, suggesting a physical and emotional attraction are governed by different parts of the brain. Really? Okay. Split attraction model. Yeah, this is what I'm heavily aligned to. Originally gaining traction in identity research, this model posits that a romantic... it's getting warm in here, so I'm going to open this again. It's one of the passing clouds. This model posits that a romantic attraction and a physical attraction are distinct and can be experienced independently. Your chart's x-axis perfectly mirrors this model by separating the physical from the limerent, emotional, psychological. And I also want to bring up that when I've talked to other people or read what other people have written about limerence, they don't see it as separate from physical, which is what bothers me. Which is why I came up with the term Loverence, and this is why I feel there needs to be this S word that describes extreme physical connection. I think we need something on the other side, and this is what Loverence is. This is what a lot of theories are not coming up. They're not defining this term. I think there's a term there needs to be defined. Right, Tenov's research focused on the crystallization of another person in one's mind. Crystallization, yeah, this is interesting because when I said attraction Pachinko, there's a point when someone aligns with your beliefs and ideals enough, they become attracted to them. And then if they go far enough, they become limerent. That is probably the same as crystallization. Yeah, crystallization. Yeah, that's probably the same as crystallization. What is crystallization? When crystallization, I'm thinking of a salt pond where it evaporates and leaves the salt behind. It's like all the fog has been lifted and you're left behind with the salt crystals. She found that for many people, the physical aspect was secondary to the mental aspect, the need for emotional grace and mental union. Right. Again, these terms are trivializing the feelings. The Loverence distinction. Your term, Loverence, fills a linguistic gap by emphasizing that attraction isn't less than just because it isn't physical. In the clinical settings, this might be viewed through the lens of cognitive intimacy. The intense attraction to another person's mind, values, and essence. In your view of the chart, do you see Loverence as a stable state of deep connection, or does it carry the same highs and lows and intrusive thoughts usually associated with the standard limerence? In your view of the chart, do you see the Loverence as a stable state of deep connection, or does it carry the same highs and lows and intrusive thoughts usually associated with the standard limerence? In your view of the chart, do you see Loverence as a stable state of deep connection, or does it carry the same highs and lows and intrusive thoughts usually associated with standard limerence? See, it would only be a stable state if you're actually in a relationship. Because if you're not in a relationship, then you'd still have the same highs and lows and intrusive thoughts like I do. I have the incredible highs and the incredible lows. Yeah, incredible highs and incredible lows. Because my mind can overthink and I get incredibly jealous and upset. And yeah, my mind can overthink and I can get incredibly jealous and upset. Incredibly. And I've got a feeling there's a... Yeah, I wish I could talk to her. So, in conclusion, the word Loverence fits. There is no other term, no other single term that describes what I'm feeling. Loverence fits. So I can refine the chart, have limerence at the top, though I disagree with that, the definition of limerence. So limerence at the extreme top, we will have physical on one side, romantic on the other, and Loverence in the corner. And attraction intensity from bottom to top. So what brought me onto this was, so I've covered the attraction Pachinko theory. So this Loverence theory is that you can place anyone you're attracted to on this chart. I don't mean to trivialize your feelings or my feelings, but I believe anyone you're attracted to can be placed on this chart. No, not a single point, but like an area. There's something else I want to bring up related to physical and romantic attraction. Now, if it comes to having a family, I mean, you've got to get physical if you're going to have a family with a partner. And if it comes to family, I believe I would rather have a family with my limerence, with my Loverence. So I need to make that distinction, because people think, yeah, because if I tell people it's not a physical attraction, people will think, oh, you're repulsed by them physically. No, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. If I was to have a family, get into a position where I could have a family with a partner, I'd rather have a family with a partner I'm limerent with. Yeah, I would rather have a family with a partner I'm limerent with. Or loverent with. So I think that's a distinction that needs to be made. That's a point that needs to be made, because I don't want people to think that if you're not physically attracted to them, then you're repulsed with them. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. It just means I got high romantic attraction to them. Like I said, I don't want to change her in any way. I don't want to bring any harm or anything that can be that she thinks is negative in any way. I want to protect her. And with that, I think it's time to go. With that, I think it's time to go. So what I'll do is, with the thumbnail, I might put the attraction Pachinko up here. Look, it's a little like rainbow. Is that? Yeah. So I'll put the attraction Pachinko picture by there, what I made, and it's time to go, I think. Yeah, what's the time now? 15:25. Yeah, I gotta get home so I can get the car outside the house. Okay, time to go, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my thoughts and feelings. Though I wish I could talk more about her. I wish I could talk more about her on these videos. Desperately want to get to know her better. Okay, time to go.